What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? Yes, it's your girl, Tanya Marie, coming to you today here. Yes, with another one. All right, y'all. Yeah, so if you haven't heard by now, Sean P. Diddy Combs, y'all, got sentenced to 4+ years. All right. He got sentenced to 4+ years in prison. All right, so we're going to get into it. So, once again, y'all, I'm Tanya Marie here with another one, y'all. Come on in the room. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Okay, make sure you come on in, come on in, come on in. Yes, y'all. So, we're going to be discussing the 4-year sentence that the judge handed down to Sean P. Diddy Combs. And we're going to pose a question to y'all. Was justice served? Right? Do y'all think with the 4+ year sentencing that the judge handed down to Diddy that it was justice? Do you think that justice was served, or do you think he got a slap on the wrist? All right, y'all drop down in those comments. Let us know what y'all think. Was justice served, or did he get a slap on the wrist? Right. All right. So P. Diddy, he was one of the most powerful men in music, a mogul, a billionaire, a cultural force, right? But on Friday afternoon, October 3rd, 2025, the empire of Sean P. Diddy Combs came crashing down, right? So it came crashing down. He never thought that he would have got sentenced to 4+ years. I think he really thought that he was going to be walking out of those doors. I don't think he ever thought that after serving 14 months already waiting for his trial, waiting for his sentencing, that he would have to serve 4+ years in prison. All right. Well, in a Brooklyn federal courtroom, Judge Aaron Sabramian sentenced Combs to 4 years, 2 months in prison following a marathon day of emotional testimony, legal battles, and gut wrenching pleas from his family. This wasn't about business deals or contracts, this was about abuse, power, horrifying world that P. Diddy controlled behind closed hotel doors known as the freak offs. All right, that's what they were known as, freak offs, in these different hotel locations and in different other homes that he owned as well. Okay. Well, in July, he was found guilty of transporting two women, his former girlfriends, across state lines for prostitution. Okay. Now, the court revealed how Diddy arranged drug-fueled nights and paid male escorts, and how he weaponized intimacy to control, degrade, and silence the women in his life. So, as y'all know, Cassie, and then there was a Jane Doe that also testified that they used male escorts, and that he trafficked them, well, excuse me, let me not use that word, that he transported them across state lines to participate in prostitution. So that's what he was convicted of on or in July, was the transportation of these said acts. Okay. All right. So those two women, once again, Cassandra Ventura, and we know her as Cassie. Okay, and then another survivor as the name of Jane. Okay, she didn't want to release her real name. She went by Jane. All right, and she was giving her testimony. All right, and while neither appeared in court during sentencing, their stories echoed very loud. Okay, within the court. All right. Now the judge, Sabramian, stated this was subjugation, not sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Okay? He said, we saw the bruises, the broken doors. We watched the video of your savage beating of Miss Ventura. You broke those women emotionally, physically, and mentally. That hit hard. So he used those testimonies from Miss Ventura, Cassie, as we know her, and also the Jane Doe, the other girlfriend. He used those testimonies to think about how he was going to sentence Diddy. And he said the bruising, the physical, the emotional abuse, the torture that these women went through was applied to where he said this sentencing was justified in his eyes. Okay. All right. Now, Diddy himself, he even spoke, in the courtroom during sentencing. He said he was humbled and broken. Y'all heard that? He said he was humbled and now broken. His empire has fallen, crashed. His children have lost their father. All of his businesses are gone away. Everything that he's built over these years, getting it out the mud, pulling himself up by his bootstraps, as they say. He did that. He came from nothing and made himself into a self-made billionaire by out here hustling and doing what he needed to do in the music world. He said he's broken. He said, I lost everything: my career, my reputation, my self respect. I hate myself right now. I was sick. I needed help. I am sorry. So he went into this courtroom and he said, I'm sorry. I know I was sick. I needed help. So he admitted that he was sick. The things that he did to those two women was sick and he needed help. So he had some self-reflection as he sat in that jail cell awaiting his sentencing. I most definitely think as the drugs and all of the alcohol and all the pills, everything was clear out of his system. So he most definitely had time to sit and think about what he did to those two ladies. Maybe he said he's humbled and broken. He needs help. He admitted that he needs help. Okay. Now, but on the other hand, the prosecution, baby, they said, we ain't hearing that. We're not buying none of that. They argued that Diddy's remorse was an act, a performance by a man being used to being in control, right? He doesn't understand the gravity of what he did. His respect for the law is just lip service. They say, baby, he clowning. He playing games in that courtroom. They said, don't believe this. All that I'm broken, I'm humbled, I need help. You didn't see you needed help when you were doing the acts. That you didn't need help when you was beating the women. You didn't need help when you were transporting the women from those illegal activities. This is all an act, just trying to get out of trouble, trying to get out of the situation that he's in. They said, don't believe the hype. Now, Judge Armenian said a history of good works cannot wash away what you've seen. All right. He said, I was in the courtroom when the truth was laid bare. He said, all that good work, yeah, that's great and all, but it's not going to wash away everything that he's seen in the courtroom. He said he's seen too much, the videos, the bruises, okay, the testimony. He says just too much in his face, raw and upfront for him to disregard. Okay. So he says Sean Combs can begin a new chapter. It's not going to be on red carpets or private jets that you were used to, but it's going to be behind bars. That's a gut punch. No more red carpets. No more flying private jets. It's going to be behind bars. It's going to be a new chapter, but behind bars. Now, he already served over a year in detention. Okay? So he already did that. Now, he could be released earlier for good behavior. Now, he could get early release for good behavior. So that is an option for him. But the damage is already done, y'all. The deed is done. Okay? It's done. That's what he can look forward to, is maybe getting early release for good behavior. All right? Now, when he does leave in person, he'll face years of supervised release, drug testing, counseling, and heavy restrictions on who he can see and what he can do. That freedom, jet setting across the world, that freedom of going to parties and events, the life that he once knew is no more. He has forever changed his future. He has forever changed his family's future. All right? Now, for the survivors, And for the public watching the fall of a legend, this wasn't just a sentencing, this was a reckoning. As I asked, was this justice? Do you think justice was served? Do you think 4 years plus 2 months was enough? All right. Diddy said he was stripped down to nothing. Nothing, he said. And he has been broken. Sean Diddy Combs is no longer just a music mogul. He is now a convicted felon, sentenced, stripped, and facing the reality of justice. This was a hard pill for him to swallow. This is a hard pill for his family to swallow. However, as the testimonies were laid out and the judge heard all of the evidence, witness videos, and compiled all of the information, he said 4+ years was justified for his acts that he has done to these two women. Now, I wasn't a juror, so I couldn't put my 2 cents in or my opinion in on the case. So I'm bringing it here to YouTube. All right, so y'all drop down below. Give me y'all opinions on that. It's 4+ years enough? Was it a slap on the wrist? Do you think justice was served? You know, some state prison, not state prison, but some federal prisons do give you early release based on good behavior, based on different programs you're in. You're going to get credit for him even being in there 14 months already. So do you think 4+ years was enough? All right, y'all drop down below in those comments. Let me know, was justice served? All right, y'all. So this is an interesting one. Came Friday afternoon, October 3rd. The streets went wild. Everybody was waiting and anticipating what the judge was going to say. So we got our answer. All right. So now all we left with is just our opinion and see how Diddy is going to handle this case. See if he's going to be out for early release, just to see how he's going to navigate the system, the prison system now. From Mogul to now Convict. Wow. I never would have thought. Not the bad boys himself. All right, y'all. Y'all drop down below. Let us know. Once again, my name is Tanya Marie, here with Bold One for Life, where we want you to be unique, be different, but most importantly, just be you.